I'm sure you don't need much of an introduction to Dash. Everybody knows Dash, one of the great P2P cryptocurrencies. And we have the Dash lead of Nigeria. His name is Nathaniel Luz. Nathaniel, am I pronouncing your surname correctly there?
Yes, it's Luz, Luz.
Nathaniel Luz, fantastic. Well, I'm not going to eat into your time anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nathaniel Luz, lead of Dash Nigeria. It's over to you, sir.
Yeah, it's great being here today. Good day, everyone from Nigeria. I consider it a pleasure speaking at Crypto Fest 2020. Thanks a lot to Sonia and the entire team that has put this together. So the topic of my presentation today is the future of payment, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, which, by the way, happens to be the title of the Bitcoin white paper by Satoshi. I do agree that bull runs generate lots of excitement and optimism for the entire crypto space, serving as a good advert for newbies to get on board, with the OGs making some profit. With every bull run, we see increased transaction fees and slow confirmation times for Bitcoin transactions due to the mempool being full. This simply shows that Bitcoin is no longer fit to be a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, as its white paper suggests, as Bitcoin has now been retired to the position of a digital gold, serving as a store of value and speculative investment for many. In as much as there's nothing wrong with that, but we do need to return to the foundational principles that bet what we now know as Bitcoin. Why cryptocurrency? Why exactly are we here today in this industry? I, for one, feel that there's been a whole lot of deviation from the founding principles of cryptocurrency with the whole chance of moon and Lambos. Crypto is the future of payments. No argument about that. But for any cryptocurrency to fill in the payment space, it must be fast, borderless, cheap, permissionless, secure, decentralized, and easy to use. It must have all these features and not some of these features in order to be the future of payments. And this is why CBDCs actually stand no chance, because they are not cryptocurrencies. If they are not decentralized and permissionless, it's not a cryptocurrency. Why cryptocurrency? Why should I bother about using crypto? So I've been on the field since 2017, onboarding users into crypto. So the first question is, why cryptocurrency? And I get to tell them, one, instant payment regardless of distance. Just as we are able to hold this conference virtually, I'm speaking from Nigeria with several speakers all over the world connecting. Why can't we also have money that can be sent all across the world in real time? Secondly, is borderless transactions. Third is financial privacy. Privacy is a human right. And not to talk about the fact that a couple of times, we happen to see some data hacks and data dumps, and people's financial privacy, their cards, all the transactions just get dumped online. So people require financial privacy. More on this later. Lower fees in international transaction, economic inclusion, and the separation of money and state. The separation of money and state, I consider to be the single biggest purpose for cryptocurrency, followed by economic inclusion. Why do we need a separation of money and state? We saw how in 2016, the Indian government demonetized the 500 and 1,000 rupee notes. And what that means was if you were holding the 500 or 1,000 rupee notes, they were no longer considered currency. They were no longer considered legal tender. I have seen this happen times and times again, where the government just messes up the entire economic system and robs people of their hard-earned money and economic prosperity. We've seen it happen in Venezuela, in Zimbabwe, and in several other countries to mention. This is the reason we have to separate money from states. I say very often that most countries in the world are just one wrong election away from having their entire financial system messed up. So just one wrong election and one political party comes to power, then they can use the current banking system to suppress, everyone by locking accounts and the likes. And we're going to see this in the next slide. In the last few weeks, there's been the NSAS protest in Nigeria. The protests are against the police brutality that has been happening in Nigeria. Something the regulators did was to shut down the bank accounts of the organizers. So, and people could no longer donate funds to them. And every account that has interacted with the account of the organizers of the protest also got frozen. So all of a sudden, nobody could move money in multiple bank accounts all at once. See, there is no better example than the separation of money and state, because the protest organizers immediately switched into cryptocurrency and they started receiving donations with cryptocurrency and also disbursing funds with cryptocurrency. So what happens someday when the government say, "Oh, we don't want you to protest against us," or "We don't like this media outlets," or "We don't like this and this"? All they just have to do is call on the legacy and financial institutions, and at the press of a button, we are all demonetized. We are all disenfranchised from our hard-earned money. We no longer have the liberty to spend our money as we want to do. Another question people get to ask me very well is, who is going to pay with crypto when there is Visa and MasterCard and the likes? And my first answer is the remittance senders lacking necessary documentation to open a bank account. It's good to know that Paxful are also in this conference, and you just need to hear the volumes that it's exact in terms of remittances to Nigeria. Because there are lots of immigrants from third world nations like Nigeria who go to the West to work and happen to send money home to their family quite often. And most of these guys do not have the necessary documentation to go get a bank account. Basically, the banks have locked them out. So what do? We bank them with crypto. So they can simply purchase Dash and send to the recipients anywhere in the world, and those can spend it directly or convert to fiat. Secondly, is international trades. Thirdly, are currency controls. I mean, if you stay in a third world country like Nigeria, where some banks have limited your monthly dollar spending to $20, you would very much understand why we need crypto to be able to navigate currency controls and do international trade. So this is EcoBank, a very popular bank in Africa and Nigeria, that has now slashed monthly international spending limit to $20. So I have a lot of Naira, but I can only spend up to $20 worth every single month. Like, what the hell is this? These guys are just locking us out of the global economy. How then do we participate in the global economy? Through cryptocurrencies. While crypto remains a luxury for first world nations, while it could be something of speculative reasons for first world nations, it is a lifeline for Africans. So I've showed you the protest example. I've showed you a bank limiting monthly spendings to $20, and there are several of such examples I could go on to show you. For we in Africa, it's a lifeline. For we in Africa, crypto is the leapfrogging we have to do to catch up with the global economy. So we just use crypto to leapfrog the entire legacy financial systems, and we land at the front where we can transact with anybody anywhere in the world without any permission from anyone. Enter Bitcoin with a first mover effect, but gravely lacking important features necessary to become a currency, which are the speed, the fees, the user experience. I mean, everyone on this call will testify to how much the average transaction, how much the average fee is for a Bitcoin transaction. And I cannot walk into a coffee shop today to buy a cup of coffee and pay with Bitcoin. I mean, my coffee is going to get cold before it even gets confirmed. So the cryptocurrency that is going to become the future of money has to have speed, very low fees, and a beautiful user experience. Okay, so this is a video on how Nigerians are using cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Dash to carry out remittances. Okay, so that was a quick animation on how people actually use Dash real time in Nigeria. All you have to do is, if you want to carry out remittances, you have to send Dash to Coin Profile and impute the local bank account details of the recipient, and the person gets Naira in 30 seconds. Note that Dash has almost zero fees and a transaction time of just 1 second. So you can send money from anywhere in the world to me in Nigeria, and I'm going to receive it directly in my local bank account using Dash on Coin Profile. Imagine how beautiful that is. And not only that, we also did an analysis of the cost of remittances on Sendwave, MoneyGram, World Remit, TransferWise, and Western Union. And we found that using Dash is at least 16% cheaper, even while we added the cost of the sender going to an exchange to purchase Dash with fiat, then sending it down. So why should people leave an instant option that is permissionless, that enables you to get your money in a couple of seconds or minutes at worst, to pass through the legacy systems that are more expensive, between 16 to 18% more expensive? And it could even take days and your money couldn't get to you, plus several other things that happen. So this is just a practical example of how we're using Dash in Nigeria every day. What will crypto payments look like in the next decade? So we've had, I still consider this time the early adoption phase in crypto, but what does the future look like? Where are we moving on to? One, usernames. Going into the future, beginning from next year, we're no longer going to be using crypto, like the long alpha numeric crypto addresses. We're not going to be using usernames. So the next time you want to send me money, I should be able to send you a username saying, hey, send to Nathaniel lose, instead of sending to XYABC, that kind of a thing. Secondly, we're going to be seeing wallets with contact lists. What it means is the wallet will automatically sync the contacts I have on my phone, so I could easily send $5 to my mom to go grab a cup of coffee. Thirdly, simplified payment gateways. And I feel that this is still a missing infrastructure in the space today that we need to work on. What if we have the way Coin Profile allows me to receive Naira to my bank account when you send Dash or Bitcoin? What if we have reverse Coin Profile platforms for Africa? In the sense that I send Dash or Bitcoin and they give dollar to Google when I'm paying for my G Suite monthly. Or they give the dollars to whosoever, to whichever company or business I'm paying with. I think going to the next decade, these are the things that are going to be fixed. And as soon as they get fixed, guess what? Mass adoption. How Dash is leading the payments race. First off is instantly respendable payments. As of today, Dash is the only proof of work coin where you can make transactions and the transaction is instantly respendable. So if I send you $1 in Dash, you can send it to someone else who can send it to someone else, and we could send it all around ourselves instantly. No waiting for long confirmation times. Thanks to the instant send and chain locks technology of Dash. And guess what about the fees of Dash? You need to carry out 10,000 transactions to be able to cumulatively spend $1 for transaction fees. So I only get to pay $1 per 10,000 transaction. Globally, in the payment space, it's a race to zero fees. So check out what the global companies are doing. Everybody's trying to race to zero. How best do we ensure that payment can happen with the most minimum amount of fees? No need for the struggles. Dash has solved that already. Then a DAO with real-world adoption teams. A beauty of Dash is the fact that, I'm here in Nigeria. I'm leading Dash adoption in Nigeria and Africa. We have the same teams in Thailand, Venezuela, Brazil, and several other countries in the world. So we get to interact with people on the ground. We get to speak in events like these, interact with businesses, users, and offer real-time feedback to the Dash team, which develops the software. And they can better know, okay, where are we headed? What do the people want? And how best can we meet their needs? Optional privacy for payments. Imagine if like I gave an example of during the protest earlier on during this presentation. Imagine when the government chooses that, okay, you know what, let's try to track those actually donating to this cause. Or the government doesn't want you to donate to WikiLeaks and they want to chase everybody trying to make donations down there. Dash has the optional private send option, which means I could choose to use private send. Private send is a more advanced form of conjoin, which uses the mixing technology to obscure where the payment is coming from. So you don't really get to know who is making the payments, since all the funds have been mixed with several other funds of users on the networks. I talked about usernames and wallets with contact list, right? Dash is going to be having that in 2021. It's going to be released on testnet before the end of this year and on mainnet early next year. It was called the Dash platform and codenamed Dash Evolution. So this is the future of payments. This is where we are racing to. When people get to ask me why crypto, when people get to ask me beyond the trading, beyond the moon and hypes and call for Lambos, why really are we here? This is why we are here. We are here for the separation of money and state. We are here to connect the 6 billion people that are not connected to the global economy, the 6 billion people that have been locked out of proper global financial services. We are here to connect them back to the global economy. And we are here to give everybody a voice. We are here to give activists a voice. You always hear that your money is your voice, your money is your power. We are here to give people their power in the sense that they can spend their money whichever way they please, without the consent of any government, without the consent of anybody. I mean, we are here to give people what Satoshi said in the white paper title of Bitcoin: a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Seeing as Bitcoin has retired to being a digital gold, Dash has taken over this challenge to be the electronic cash of the future. So that's my presentation. Thank you so much for having me here today at Crypto Fest. I really do appreciate it. This is my contact. My email is nathaniel@dashnigeria.com. That's my cell phone number and the Dash website and the Dash Nigeria website. We could talk more after this. Thank you. Hello, MC. I'm done with my presentation. Or do you want to give me another 30 minutes? Because I can see a couple of questions in the discussion segment. Okay, and someone said this man speaks the truth. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to join the VIP room after this. Oh, that's by that. I'm going to join the VIP room after this. Then with no KYC, how do you ensure your users are not facilitating terrorist financing or using the platform to launder money? Yes, the Coin Profile team has a way of checking that out. So that's not really a complex problem for the Coin Profile team in Nigeria. But if you want to get more answers on that, just shoot them a DM on Twitter or Telegram. Cheers.
All right, Nathaniel, thank you so much.